Hi everybody, my name is Neil and this is Allison here. We're here today to perform a couple osteopathic manipulation techniques for you. Those would be the exhalation somatic dysfunction counterstrain techniques for the first and second ribs. And just a side note, I believe I said exhalation, you might also hear depressed ribs. So if you hear either, consider that the same. So being a counterstrain technique, this is passive and indirect. And so first things first, I'll go ahead and look for a tender point. And so I'll start by finding a first rib tender point for a depressed or exhalation dysfunction. And so what I'll go ahead and do is I will palpate along Allison's clavicle medially until it's joint with the sternum and then move inferiorly from there. And so I'm currently palpating bilaterally just to see which of these is a stronger tender point. And Allison, do you feel a tender point on either of these spots?
Yep, right side.
Right side, okay. And so next I would establish the pain scale. And so out of 10, this is a 10, Allison. Okay, excellent. So next I'll move Allison into the position of ease. And so I'll maintain my tender point pressure with my right hand. And so at the same time, I'll go ahead with my left hand, cradle Allison's head. And so being passive, I will be moving her head. She will not be having any part of this into flexion as well as side bending towards a tender point and rotation towards a tender point. And so, Allison, how does this feel on the same pain scale out of 10?
A 1.
A 1, okay. And since this is greater than a 70% reduction in pain, we would consider this a good position to hold her in. And so typically I would hold this position for 90 seconds or so, but for the purpose of demonstration, I'll go ahead and return Allison's head back into a neutral position passively again. And so don't help me out with this. I'm going to take you back out. And so now I'll reassess. And so again on that pain scale, out of 10, where would you rate the pain now?
0.
0. Okay. And with that in mind, that would be considered a successful technique. And so to expand on that, for the second rib, we would just find the tender point for that, which is about 6 to 8 centimeters laterally along the second rib. And so in order to find that, I could palpate along the clavicle and then to like the midclavicular line, and then just drop down onto the second rib. And so do you feel a tender point on either of these sides?
Yep.
Which side?
Right side.
Right side, okay. And we'd go through the same technique the same way, and motions are the same as well. So that would include flexion of the head at the neck, as well as rotation towards the tender point and side bending towards the tender point. And that's all I got for you guys now. Thanks.